Yes! It's a privilege to be on Advise Me, and I want to share my story just as everyone else have been sharing their story. And I want Advise Me to see to this story how or ways that one can improve in decision making in a relationship or more. So this is my story. I fell in love at a very young age with a sweet, nice young girl. I mean, you never want to ask for love twice, right? Yeah. I believe love is always what you have once with someone, and every other person comes and you really don't know if it's love, but you just go along. So it wasn't as it is now that when you fall in love with someone, you have to pay visits and all of it. We were not able to pay visits because her parents were not welcoming boys into the house. And my parents as well is in such a Christian background that they don't want you to associate with women, so you don't become, you don't go do fornication things and all that. So we were very separate from each other. But seeing each other was joy. And being in the same high school together, I made sure that I am always there whenever she's going to school and come back. It's lovely. If you are hearing this story for those in the high school, you know how it feels when you fall in love with somebody in your class or behind, and you move together. You know that feeling. You can't fight it. It's always there, and you want to shield everyone just because of this person. And that was how the love is. And we when you come to talk of the intimate part of our relationship, as at the time we were very young. I mean, then I should be, when we were in secondary school, in the junior class, I should be like 15, 16. I mean, now people don't consider it young, but then we were young. She was a virgin and she doesn't want to get disflowered. And I myself, I really don't want to have this, because I believe because I was not having sex then, that was what was making me intelligent and all that. So we were just keeping ourselves and all that until eventually when I finished secondary school and she finished secondary school. For the first time, we kissed. I mean, you know those kiss in the movies, right? Where when they kiss, it feels like heaven is here. So that was how it felt. I can still feel the poking of lips, the holding of, I mean, you know that thing, right? So it was beautiful. I mean, I never want to let that kiss go, because I've dreamt of that kiss long, and it's happening. So I still had the fear. I didn't want to have sex and do all that, but we had no choice other than to go deeper. And for the first time in my life, I could feel the excitement of being with a woman. I don't know what you think, but whatever I think we were in love. And in our intimacy, we only came together, I think, just 2 times. Yeah, just twice, and that was it. And eventually, I traveled in search of a higher education, and she herself in search of, a higher education. And when we're all grown up and we come to the stage of life where we can make our own decisions to get married, come together, and we see that, okay, because I love you. And when she finished school, she had a very nice job. I mean, when they say a woman is supportive, you could never ask for another. You can call her now that I'm stranded or I needed to do something. If she has it, she's going to send it. If she doesn't, she's going to suggest ways that thing you're having trouble dealing with could be done. And this was more than enough to say you want to be with a woman, because I believe that a woman that you are together and you find yourself making and taking decisions together to move ahead is that woman you want to be with. So I told her, I mean, it's not like in these recent days where, of course, you have to buy ring, put one knee on the floor, and propose. But I was not like that, right? I didn't have that kind of energy. But I know this is the girl, so I just told her, "Why don't we get married? I think you're the woman for me, and I can never be happier if I get married to another woman." So the decision she took was a no. Why? Because she was a Jehovah's Witness. Yes. I was a Catholic. I mean, these two roads don't meet, right? Difficult thing to do. And in her way of showing that she loved me, she told me I have to become a Jehovah's Witness in order for us to be able to get married. Wow. Flashback to when we began our relationship. I was a Sabbatarian and she was a Catholic. We never have this idea of religion separating us in any way. So now that we've grown, what happened? Why the sudden change? I mean, it was devastating for me. I didn't know how to deal with the issue. So I just kind of go around asking questions. What could I do? Because of love, do I have to change my belief? Do I have to leave where I am to another place? Do I have to compromise everything I stand for? Now, I even told her, if truly that this can work, since you don't really like me being in the Catholic Church, and I don't have problem with you being a Jehovah's Witness or not, why don't we come in between and I leave the Catholic Church and you leave the Jehovah's Witnesses? Let's move together as though we would not consider, I mean, I don't know how to explain this, but it really hurts when you finally see that you find somebody you really match and this is the person. Because getting married is, I don't know if it's really an easy decision to take for a lot of you out there, but for me it was not an easy decision to take. But finally taking the decision, and this is all you come up with to tell me that you are a Jehovah's Witness and I am a Catholic, we can't get married for no other reason. We can take care of ourselves, you have a good job, I have a good career, and I mean, what happened to love? What happened to the excitement we had? What happened to us planning together? What happens to understanding that the future is for us when we are able to live and I mean, I was all short of words. All short of words. I mean, there's nothing I would ask her that she can't do for me. There was nothing she would ask me I wouldn't do for her. But compromising religion is hard. Because long ago, while in the course of our relationship, I've decided I don't want to be a religious person, because I've seen a lot of things that religion does, and this is one of the things, and it's even making me stand firm to that decision not to be a religious person. Because how can you deny two people? Well, I really don't think it is the church that has denied her. It is the doctrine they set and she has stood by it. So, relationship or no relationship, these people consider you to be a worldly person. But I don't care. As long as I know that you are the one for me, let's go. But it will never be so. So, how would you treat such a situation? Of course, it's easy to say, since she said no, then let it go. But I feel if this must have happened to me, then it must have happened to millions of people out there. So I won't advise me to I don't know what they should get from me, but they should get this out there and let the world know that religion should never come into your space of living. I have this to say to my ex. If you're out there and you're watching me right now and you've listened to all I have said, and there are some things I couldn't say here, maybe advise me could bring the second episode or more, which we can say details of what really went down in that relationship. So, my message to my ex: let your decision be yours. Let every third person standing in your way understand what you want. Look to yourself and ask yourself, if religion was there before we started, and now that it is coming in between, ask yourself, is this the best you could do? Would your religion do same for you? Will they compromise what they stand for you? Or would they stand for what they stand for you? Would your religion compromise their happiness for you, just the way you want to compromise your happiness for them? So this message, I believe, may not only be to my ex only, but may be to also millions of people out there whom their happiness have been sacrificed because of religion. Thank you.